I have gone super lightweight, as light as I possibly can. 3 packets of beef jerky, bare minimum. I'm using the Rab Muon 50 litre FUL gear, Lanshan 1. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Steve here's adventures, all about hiking, wild camping and outdoors adventures. I'm currently on High Pike and it is absolutely boiling today, really warm. So like I said, just over here we've got High Pike, just up there we've got Dove Crag, and down that way we've got Low Pike and Ambleside. You can even see Windermere. Now I'm absolutely boiling, roasting hot, and for some reason I'm knackered. So I found myself a nice little bit of shade and I'm just cooling down before I head off up to Dove Crag. Now I've never been up High Pike, Low Pike or Dove Crag. I'll be ticking those Wainwrights off. Oh, did I tell you it was boiling hot? So today I have gone super lightweight, as light as I possibly can. You do have to take into consideration that I will be carrying camera equipment and a drone, which most people wouldn't. Anyway, we're going to talk about that later when I find somewhere to camp. And I'm going to tell you what's in my pack, my super lightweight summer pack. I'm going to chill out for 5 minutes and then I'm going to head off up Dove Crag. Well, it's so nice to actually be on some nice terrain. This bit from High Pike up to Dove Crag is nice and moderate. And I came up to Low Pike from Buckstone's Jump, and that's fairly steep. And the only reason I did that was because I forgot to bring some water. So I needed to go that way because there isn't any water on the top of Dove Crag, not that I know of anyway. Because I was going a different way, I'd climbed this wall because that's how it said the path was. Fortunately it wasn't. And I climbed up the wall and then jumped off, but it was a bit higher than I thought, and I've kind of busted my ankle on my right leg. Not very good, I'm afraid. It's not hurting as much now. I think I'll be fine in the morning. There were some people coming the other way as well, so I had to get up and look like I wasn't hurt. In fact, I was crying inside because it bloody knacked. I must have came down like a bag of shite, and it must have looked funny. They probably contained themselves though, because none of them were laughing, but they just looked like they were holding it in. Anyway, I've got my water. I'm almost at the top of Dove Crag, so it's almost time to put the tent up. And I'm going to tell you about all this lightweight gear. Well, it's not specifically lightweight, but I am kind of going along the theme of you only take what you need, as little as possible. Just take the essentials. Anyway, I'm going to get to the top of Dove Crag and then find somewhere to camp. Well, that is the tent up. I'm finally settled. I've got my boots off. I've got my little nip of whiskey going on. It is quite late. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. And the sun is just starting to set over Great Dodd, I think it is, in Fairfield. It's quite a nice spot. Anyway, super lightweight gear. I think the first thing I'm going to call on is the backpack. I'm using the Rab Muon 50 litre, and the reason why I like it is it's because it's really lightweight, and you can take the lid off and not use that, and it can press this down so it can look like a small backpack if you wanted to. It's got lots of mesh nets on the outside, and I've been using it for a while now. I use it in the winter as well. It's my go-to pack. So I'm going to move straight on to the next item, probably one of the most important items. It's the tent, and this time I am using the FUL Gear Lanshan 1, and with that I'm using a trekking pole and some pegs off me Hilleberg Solo. Also another important item, air mattress. Now I haven't got a big selection of these. I've got me a cheaper one. I've got a couple of other ones which aren't comfortable. A Sea to Summit Etherlite XT, which is fairly light, but just leaks. I just stopped using that. Don't buy one of them. But the one I have this time is the Big Agnes Rapide SL, and the pump sack for that bed, which is really easy to use, because what I haven't brought this time is me electronic pump and light, because we're going lightweight. We don't need them. Next up on my list, sleeping bag. This one from Amazon, and it's very, very light and fairly warm for what it is. It is a down one. Was about £80, not particularly cheap. I wouldn't use it in the winter, but for the summer it's ideal. And the pillow, obviously it's the same one as I always use. I don't think it's particularly light, but it's very comfortable. And that is the sleep system. One way to stay lightweight is not to carry too much water, because you can get your water en route, and I find it easier and lighter to not carry loads of water. Obviously 1 litre of water weighs a kilogram, so it's probably one of the heaviest things you'll carry in your pack. So just carry a little bit, work out ahead of time where you can stop and get water, and for that you're going to need something to store it in, which I use this. I got it off Amazon. It's about £20. It folds away to nothing except when it's full of water, and that holds 2 litres, and you have to filter the water that you get also, and I use a Be Free 1 litre filter, and that seems to do the trick just fine. Your cook system. Now obviously the lightest way to eat whilst you're camping is freeze-dried meals, pot noodles, camping meals, stuff that you just add water to, or dried proteins like jerky. That's my new favourite. The cooker that I use is this small titanium pot, which could be used as a cup, but on this occasion I brought a cup, and a BRS burner and a 100ml gas canister, and that's all you need. You can use rocks to use as a windbreak if you have to, if you want to cook outside your tent. You need something to light that burner, and I've got something very reliable, which is one of these. I don't know what to call them. It just sparks and lights it straight away, but it's really light and it's very reliable. So clothes wise, now it's really warm. I'm wearing a t-shirt and shorts, socks, a hat and some sunglasses. I'm not going to count that in the weight of the pack, but what I have brought is a rabbit down jacket, just in case it gets nippy. Beanie, as people call them. And because I'm wearing my shorts, I've got some leggings, some actually winter leggings, but I put them on a night to sleep in if it's a little bit chilly, or just for on a night. And that's all I've brought clothes wise. Now there are a few more things in my pack, but I'm going to tell you about them in a bit. Also, I will tell you about the additional things that I bring because I'm YouTubing, because I'm recording, and also because I choose to drink some alcohol. I'm not going to include that in the weight of the pack because you don't need it, but it's nice to have, so that's something optional. Taking a little break from the gear review, or what's in my pack. Just having a walk around on the summit of Dove Crag, first time up here, and it just so happens to be a bloody glorious day, pardon my language, but it is spectacular. And this is the summit. It's just a cairn on top of some rocks. I'm not even sure if that's the highest point. Yeah, it must be. So what else is in my pack that adds to this weight here? Well, obviously a cup, and it's a thermal cup. This is actually from my workplace. I have the logo on the other side, so I'm not going to show you that. And inside this cup I do have hot chocolate, not completely necessary. And I've got in here some coffee, tea, sugar, little milk thing, and a coffee filter, because coffee's quite important to me as well. But other than that, that's just for tea and coffee. One tea and one coffee and a hot chocolate, if I so desire. Oh, obviously I've got a spork, same one as I always use. Very lightweight, does the job. I've even used the other end to cut things with. For food, I do have a big super noodle, chicken flavour, which I've just punctured. Bugger. For the morning, I have some fuel porridge, chocolate. In addition to that, I do have another bag with food in. And in this bag is 3 packets of beef jerky. Now that's my protein for the hike. I've got some nuts. And that's it. No sweets, bare minimum. Just exactly what I need. Not required for this camp, but you never know. And I always bring, regardless of whether it's like this or not, is a waterproof jacket. And this is it's a Montane, yeah, Montane waterproof jacket. Brilliant, a lifesaver. Keeps you warm from wind, keeps you dry. Beautiful item to bring with you. It's a must. I don't think you can go without it, to be honest. You never know when you're going to need it. It can save your life. It really can. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty now. The only other thing I bring is this waterproof bag, and in here is essentially I've got a tub with some electrolyte tablets in for me water. If I don't put these in the water that I get from a stream, it tastes like absolute garbage. Car key in safely away in a waterproof bag as well. Various first aid equipment, painkillers, sticky plasters, face wipes, need toothbrushes in there, toothpaste. This is just like a little thing I got from a mini trowel in there. And that's about it. Oh yes, I do have some patches for my jacket and a repair kit for my airbed. And that is it. I think we've actually covered everything that I brought with us. Oh yes, I almost forgot. I always bring an extra squeezy water bottle. This is just for putting drinking water in. If I find some water that's questionable and I filter it, I have to boil it, let it cool, put it in the bottle. Also, can't forget, and this is like a brick, this is my phone. I always bring a phone, fully charged, and I only use it for my map. It's kept somewhere very safe, cushioned, that it can't get destroyed, and I very rarely use it apart from for my map, if I need a map. As I said, I didn't bring a light for the tent. However, I did bring my micro head torch. Now this is really light, lasts 2 hours off a full charge on full power. Not expecting to be using it. However, I would usually bring a method of charging this or a bigger light in the winter. This is just for the summer. I'm unlikely to be descending in the dark, so that will do for that. A power bank, so if anything goes flat I can charge it anyway. Power bank lead, you can't go anywhere without any headphones. And that, I believe, is everything. And that is the weight of my pack. Obviously not including water. You could probably add half a litre to that, because that's probably the most I would carry at any one time, unless I was refilling with me using the filters. Also, there is my tripod, which is a hefty weight, sturdy and stable for doing time lapses and all the rest of it. Obviously DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and this is what I'm videoing myself on right now. A microphone I have brought today with us, a DJI Mini 4 Pro drone with controller and 3 batteries. I think that's about all the extras I would bring. Now those extras, the alcohol, the camera equipment, the batteries and the drone do add a fair bit of weight to the pack. But if you didn't have them, you'd probably float away on one of these mountains. It's fairly dark now. It's time for something to eat, and all I've got is a pot noodle. Cooking in the tent does have a kind of charm about it. However, that only lasts until liquid bioethylene spills all over the tent and ignites, and you've got yourself a fireworks show inside the tent. Very hazardous. Be very careful whatever you're using to cook in a tent with. Whilst I've been cooking my tea, I have noticed it's getting round to that time of year. End of August, beginning of September, daddy long legs. Ever since I was a child, I remember going camping with me parents and being absolutely terrified of these animals, or creatures, devils, whatever they are. Flying daddy long leg spiders, big bloody spiders with frickin' wings. I hate them, and I'm really sorry for animal lovers, but if I see one, I've got to kill it and dispose of it. Anyway, my pot noodle is cooking, and then I think I'm going to go to sleep. I'm quite tired. I'll see you in the morning. Good morning, and a bright and sunny one it is too. The wind's still a little bit cool, so I've got my down jacket on. Told you that it was worth bringing. I have had my breakfast, porridge oats, I've also had a cup of coffee, and now I'm ready to pack the tent up and head off this hill. I'm going to go down, back down the same way as I came, more or less, straight down into Ambleside. As for the backpack, super light gear, or rather just going minimalistic and not taking what you don't need, because some of the stuff in my backpack isn't light or super lightweight, it's just affordable. So it's got to be what you've got already, but just remember, do you really need it or do you not need it? So that brings us to the end of another adventure and the end of this video. If you've enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe and drop us a comment, and I'll see you on the next one.